You weren't born to just get by. You weren't put on this earth to pay bills, play it safe, and fade away. Look around you. Everything you see, every building, every invention, every masterpiece, all of it started the same way, as a dream. And the only difference between those who built something great and those who didn't is this: they dare to believe. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. This isn't just another motivational phrase. This is about that fire inside you, the one you've silenced, buried beneath fear, failure, or the noise of others' opinions. But here's the truth: that dream never left you. You left it. And now it's time to go back and get it. Because if you can dream it, you can live it. Somewhere deep inside you, there's a vision, an image of a life that feels bigger, brighter, more aligned with who you truly are. That vision doesn't come from nowhere. It didn't just appear in your mind by accident. It's not a random thought. It's a signal, a message, a call. But most people ignore that call. Not because they don't hear it, but because they've been trained to silence it. From a young age, we're told to stay grounded, be realistic, stop daydreaming, think small, and only chase what is safe. The world doesn't attack your dream directly. It buries it under layers of caution, doubt, and over time, the dream doesn't scream anymore. It whispers. Then it fades. Then one day, you wake up, living a life that looks nothing like what you once imagined, wondering where it all went wrong. But here's what they never taught you. That dream isn't a luxury. It's not a distraction. It's not something you get to play with when the real work is done. It's the compass. It's the clue. It's your most authentic roadmap to becoming the person you were meant to be. And ignoring it doesn't keep you safe. It slowly kills your spirit. There are people walking around today with smiles on their faces and dead dreams in their hearts. They look alive. They function. They go to work, pay their bills, scroll through their phones, and follow all the rules. But inside, something's missing. Not because they failed, but because they stopped pursuing what mattered. The worst part is, they've gotten so good at pretending they don't care anymore, they've forgotten how much they actually do. They've convinced themselves their dream was childish, that it was too big, that it was just not meant to be. But the truth is, they just got tired of fighting, tired of waiting, tired of being the only one who believed in something that no one else could see. But here's the thing. Your dream doesn't care if no one else sees it. It only cares if you do. It only needs one believer, you. Because that dream was planted in you for a reason. That vision didn't choose your neighbor, your teacher, your boss, or your friend. It chose you. It was born in your imagination. It moves through your thoughts. It shows up in your sleep. That's not random. That's sacred. When something keeps coming back to you, no matter how long you push it away, it's not a coincidence. It's a calling. You may try to forget it, you may try to ignore it, but it won't let you go because it is part of you. Every time you try to silence it, you silence part of your soul. Every time you convince yourself to let it go, it feels like a small betrayal. You feel it, don't you? That sting, that ache, that whisper inside saying, you're meant for more than this. Not more money, not more stuff, more purpose, more aliveness, more truth. People say dreams are for the lucky, they say dreams are for the talented. No, dreams are for the brave. Because it takes courage to keep dreaming in a world that tells you to settle. It takes strength to carry a vision that no one else understands yet. It takes resilience to wake up every day and say, even if I don't see the way, I will still believe it exists. That's the difference between those who live fulfilled lives and those who live forgotten ones. It's not about intelligence, it's not about background, it's not about perfect timing, it's about honoring the fire inside, even when the world hands you water. You don't need to explain your dream to everyone. You don't need everyone to approve of it. Not everyone will get it, and they are not supposed to. It's not theirs, it's yours. If they don't see it, that's fine. It wasn't planted in them. It was planted in you. You're the one meant to carry it. You're the one meant to walk that path. And no matter how long it's been buried, it's not dead. It's waiting waiting for you to trust it again, waiting for you to fight for it, waiting for you to come home to it. The world may tell you to let it go, but something deeper in you, something unbreakable, tells you not to. And that voice, that feeling, that's real, that's the truth, that's your signal. Your dream is not just something you want, it's who you really are, waiting to become. So stop telling yourself that it's too late, stop believing the lie that says the moment has passed. It hasn't. As long as you're breathing, it's still possible. As long as your heart beats for you, it still matters. The only question is, will you finally start listening to what's been calling you all along? A dream is delicate in its early stages. It begins like a small spark, just a quiet idea, a moment of inspiration, a feeling that something more is possible. And at first it feels magical. You can almost see it, feel it, imagine yourself living it. But then reality comes knocking. The world starts whispering doubts, friends raise their eyebrows, family members question your logic. Life throws distractions, deadlines, responsibilities and failures your way. And that once burning vision, it begins to flicker. Not because the dream has changed, but because you stopped protecting it the way it needed you to. Dreams, like flames, don't survive on their own. They need fuel, they need shelter, and they need someone to shield them when the winds get strong. Every distraction is a gust of wind. Every negative comment is a drop of cold water. Every time you hesitate, every time you postpone, every time you say, maybe later, the flame weakens, until one day it barely glows. And what once felt alive starts to feel like a memory. But not because it wasn't real, because you didn't defend it. It's easy to be passionate about a dream in the beginning. When it's new, exciting, and you feel inspired, it's effortless to talk about it, write about it, plan for it. But what happens after that first wave fades? What happens when the results don't show up quickly? When it gets boring? When no one is clapping for you? That's when most people start letting go, not intentionally. Slowly. They stop working on it daily, they start doubting its worth, they compare themselves to others who seem further ahead, they give the dream less time, less space, less energy, and little by little, the fire dies out. It's the size of your commitment to protecting it. You don't need 100 fans, you don't need perfect conditions. What you need is the discipline to show up when it's hard, and the courage to stay loyal when it's quiet, even when no one notices, even when nothing seems to move, even when it hurts. Protecting your dream means understanding that not everyone will see what you see. And that's okay. You can't expect people to understand a vision that was only given to you. If you need permission, if you need applause, if you need validation to keep going, your dream will die the moment the world stops clapping. You have to be your own fire starter, your own protector, your own source of belief, especially on the days when belief feels far away. Fatigue. It's the slow erosion of hope after repeated setbacks. The day you fail, you still feel alive. But the day you lose your fire, you stop moving. And that's the real death. That's why your dream must be more than a wish. It has to be a decision, a promise, a commitment you renew every day. Not just when you feel like it, but especially when you don't. There will be people who laugh, there will be moments where you doubt yourself so deeply that quitting feels like the easiest thing in the world. There will be nights you cry in frustration and days you question your worth. And in those moments, you must remember that your dream isn't weak, it's just under attack. And that's exactly when it needs you most. Not to panic, not to run, but to stand tall, shield the flame and say, no, I'm not done yet. You don't have to be fearless to protect your dream. You just have to love it enough to keep going through the fear. You don't have to be the best, the smartest, or the most talented. You just have to be the most faithful. Faithful when it's dark, faithful when the path is unclear, faithful when the results are invisible. Because dreams don't die from rejection, they die from neglect. Your dream is your responsibility. And yes, that's a weight. But it's also an honor. You've been trusted with a vision. And it's not by accident. You've been chosen to bring something into the world that didn't exist before. Don't take that lightly. Don't wait for someone to believe in you first. Be the one who believes when no one else does. Be the one who protects the dream when no one else sees its worth. Because, that's what dreamers do. Like, they keep the flame alive until the world finally sees the fire. The way you see the world is shaped entirely by what you believe. Your beliefs aren't just thoughts. They are the filters through which you process everything. Your past, your failures, your future, and especially your potential. If deep down you believe that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not ready, then even the greatest opportunity will look like a threat. You'll doubt it, question it, overthink it, and eventually reject it. Not because it wasn't real, but because your mind was trained to block what your heart secretly wanted. This is the silent war that so many people fight every day. Not against the world, but against their own limiting beliefs. And what's tragic is that most of those beliefs aren't even yours. They were handed to you. Maybe someone told you at a young age that you were too slow, too loud, too quiet, too much, not enough. Maybe you failed once and decided that failure meant finality. Maybe you compared yourself to someone ahead of you and decided you'd never catch up. These moments leave marks. They create inner stories, and those stories become your reality. You don't chase dreams with a full heart when part of you still believes you're not worthy of catching them. But here's the truth. Your dream is only as possible as you believe it is. Not because belief changes the world directly, but because it changes you. It changes how you show up, how you persist, how you speak, how you recover from setbacks. Two people with the same talent can live completely different lives just because one decided to believe in the vision and the other decided to believe in the fear. Belief doesn't make you lucky, it makes you relentless. When you believe something is possible for you, not just in theory, but deeply, emotionally, unquestionably, your entire nervous system starts acting in alignment with that future. You start noticing things you used to ignore, you act faster, you trust your voice more, you create more, you take more risks, you speak with a different tone, you move with more certainty, people feel it, life responds to it. And most people live reactively. They wait to believe in their dream until they see results. They wait to feel confident until someone else compliments them. But that's not how it works. You have to believe before the evidence. You have to step out in faith, not comfort. Growth always looks like delusion before it becomes success. People will look at you and say, who does she think she is? Or is crazy to believe that's possible. And yes, maybe you are crazy, but only crazy people change the world. The rational ones stay where it's safe. You must take ownership of your inner dialogue. Your thoughts create momentum. If every morning you wake up and say, I'm stuck, I'm behind, I'm not good enough, then you're planting weeds in the soil where your dream is trying to grow. You don't owe the world your humility. You owe yourself your belief. You have to talk to yourself like someone you believe in. Stop waiting for the world to hand you confidence. Build it. It's time to question the old beliefs. Who gave them to you? Where did you learn that you couldn't do more? Was it a teacher, a parent, a stranger, a failure? And most importantly, is it true? Or have you just been repeating it so long that it feels true? You don't have to carry those beliefs anymore. You can rewrite the script. You can look in the mirror today and say, I don't care who I've been until now. I choose to believe something new. Belief is not a feeling that magically appears. It is a muscle that you strengthen every day through action, through repetition, through courage. The more you act like someone who believes, the more you become someone who does. Start taking small steps that align with your dream. Prove to yourself that you are willing to move forward even when you're scared. Let action replace hesitation. Let progress replace perfection. When you change your beliefs, everything else follows. Your environment, your decisions, your standards, your energy, they all rise to match what you believe you deserve. And once that shift happens inside you, the world has no choice but to respond. Because belief changes your frequency. You stop waiting, you start building, you stop doubting, you start doing. So ask yourself right now, what do I believe about myself, about my future, about what I deserve? And if those beliefs don't serve the dream I'm chasing, am I willing to let them go? Because once you believe, truly believe, not in fantasy, but in your ability to learn, to grow, to adapt, to overcome, nothing is out of reach. What you believe, you build every single time. There comes a moment in every dreamer's life where the question is no longer can I, but will I keep going? That's the real test. Not how gifted you are, not how inspired you feel, not even how much you want it. The test is whether you will keep moving forward when nothing around you is changing. When the results aren't showing, when doubt is silent, when doubt is loud, when progress is slow, because that's the part no one glamorizes. The middle, the stretch between starting and succeeding, that's where most people disappear. That's where the dream quietly dies, not because it wasn't worth it, but because the person carrying it got tired and let go. This is the valley, the space between the vision and its manifestation. It's uncomfortable, it's humbling, it's filled with silence, questions, comparison. It's when you do everything right and still feel like you're standing still. And it's also where most people trade their dream for something easier, something familiar, something less painful. But if you can stay faithful in this place, if you can walk through that dry season with your heart still anchored to your purpose, you reach something most people never will: transformation. Because here's the truth. The dream doesn't just shape your future, it shapes you. It's not just about getting there, it's about who you become on the way. The version of you who starts the dream is not the version who will fulfill it. Something has to break. Something has to grow. Something inside of you must mature, must deepen, must evolve. The journey is not just a path forward, it's a fire that purifies. It reveals who you really are. When everything is stripped away, when the excitement fades, when the motivation dries up, what's left is your why. And if your why is strong enough, no storm can move you. That's why you must learn to move without emotion. If you wait to feel ready, you will wait forever. If you wait for perfect clarity, you will stall every time fear shows up. You don't need to feel certain, you need to stay consistent. You don't need a perfect plan, you need persistent steps. People think progress is fast and flashy, but most of the time it's slow, quiet, unseen. It's showing up day after day, building brick by brick, trusting that every tiny effort matters, even when no one is watching. Resilience isn't about pretending everything's okay. It's about standing in the chaos and choosing to keep walking anyway. It's about saying, this hurts, this is hard, but I'm still here. Because one day, everything you've been building, all those hours in the dark, all the tears, all the risks, all the rejections, they will turn into something. The world will call it overnight success, but you'll know better. You'll know the price you paid, the work you did when no one noticed, the faith it took to keep showing up when it felt like nothing was working. You must choose to keep your standards high, even when your circumstances are low. The conjure, you must act like the person you want to become before you get there. Speak with conviction before they give you the mic. Work like a professional before anyone pays you. Show up like a winner before you have the trophy. That's how alignment works. You don't wait for the dream to show up before you live like it's real. You move as if it's already yours. Because the future doesn't just happen, it responds to preparation. This is the season where most give up, but this can also be the season where you rise, where you build discipline so strong that nothing outside of you can break what's inside of you, where you no longer rely on signs to confirm your purpose. You become your own confirmation. The kind of person who no longer needs the world's permission to move forward. The kind of person who no longer apologizes for wanting more. You start to embody the dream, not just chase it. In the end, the world rewards those who refuse to quit. Not because they were the best, but because they didn't let go when it hurt, they endured, they adapted, they grew, and you can too. But it requires a vow to yourself. I won't leave this dream behind just because the road is hard. You owe it to the child you once were, the one who first imagined this life. You owe it to the future you, the one who thanks you for not giving up. The dream is not just something to wish for, it's something to become. And when you understand that, when you stop chasing it and start living like it's already within you, the world begins to shift. Not because it changed, but because you did. There's a moment where something clicks. It doesn't come with fanfare, it doesn't shout, it arrives quietly like a deep breath after holding in the pain too long. It's the moment when you stop chasing the dream as if it's outside of you, and you begin to realize it has always been within you. That moment changes everything. Because suddenly, you're no longer trying to become someone else. You're returning to who you've always been. Underneath the fear, the pressure, the doubt, the noise, you see clearly that the dream is not a place you're running toward, it's a voice calling you back to yourself. And that voice, it's been whispering all along, waiting for you to get quiet enough to hear it. The world has tried to convince you that dreaming is risky, foolish, unrealistic, but what's truly dangerous is not dreaming at all. What's dangerous is waking up one day and realizing you lived your whole life by someone else's rules, that you never asked yourself what you really wanted, that you played it safe, stayed small and talked yourself out of your own calling, that you knew deep down who you were and you silenced it anyway. That kind of regret is louder than failure, because at least failure says, I tried. But regret whispers, what if I had just believed? The truth is, dreaming is not optional, it's survival. It's oxygen for the soul. Without a dream, you shrink, you settle, you fade. But with a dream, even a fragile one, you wake up with fire. You fight with purpose. You live with a sense of direction that no amount of chaos can steal. It's not about being perfect. It's about being in motion, even when the path is messy, even when you're scared, even when you don't know how it all ends. Because if the dream was planted in you, it's not random. It's a seed of who you're meant to become. You weren't born just to exist. You weren't put here to just go through the motions. You were built with intention, crafted with vision. There's a reason your heart beats faster when you imagine that future. There's a reason you can't fully let it go, no matter how many times you failed. That dream is your compass, and it doesn't go away because it's yours. It's part of your assignment. The sooner you stop resisting it, the sooner you feel alive again. Stop waiting for the world to give you a sign. You are the sign. Your desire is the signal. Your restlessness is the proof. Your imagination is the blueprint. The dream didn't choose your neighbor, it chose you. And you don't need to be ready. You need to be willing. Willing to rise when it's hard. Willing to start again. Willing to trust what you cannot yet prove. That's the courage most people avoid. They think courage is loud. It's not. It's quiet, invisible, and often misunderstood, but it's powerful. It's the kind of courage that says, I don't have all the answers, but I refuse to stay stuck. People will tell you to be realistic, but the world was never changed by realists. It was changed by people who had the audacity to believe in something better, even when it didn't exist yet. And you can be one of them. You don't need 1 million followers. You don't need everyone to get it. You just need to say yes, fully, completely, even with trembling hands. Because your yes will unlock doors that fear would have kept shut forever. So now, the question isn't whether you can dream it, you already have. The question is, will you protect it? Will you act on it? Will you risk being misunderstood, laughed at, overlooked, in order to live in alignment with the deepest part of you? Yeah, that's the real choice. That's the moment of truth. And maybe no one will notice when you make that decision, but you will feel it. Something inside you will shift. The air will feel different. Your back will straighten. Your eyes will burn with something more than hope. Certainty. Because once you truly commit to your dream, you begin to move differently, speak differently, breathe differently. You carry a quiet power that doesn't beg for attention. It commands it. And one day, people will ask you how you did it, how you got there, how you stayed so focused, and you'll smile because you'll know the truth. You didn't wait to believe in yourself. You just decided. You stopped apologizing. You stopped pretending you were small. You remembered who you are. And that changed everything. So now, it's in your hands. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because everything you've ever needed to begin is already within you. The dream isn't waiting for perfect timing, it's waiting for a decision. A moment of truth. A quiet inner voice that finally says, I'm done doubting. I'm done shrinking. I'm done waiting to feel ready. I choose to believe and I choose to begin. And when you do, something changes. Not outside you, inside you. The world doesn't shift first. You do. Once you do, the rest starts to follow. So walk forward. Not because the path is easy, but because it's yours. If you can dream it, you can become it. Now go live it.